Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of 30 in 30s, where I, Lena, the 31-year-old, try something for 30 times, could be days, weeks, months, years. For our first episode, we're doing rollerblading, so let's go back to the 90s and start skating. I picked up rollerblades for the first time since the 90s during quarantine, like most people. Here's my first T-stop, and then my attempt at turning the corner. Then I eventually worked my way up to riding for fitness. And then I also learned this one trick over the summer, which I surprisingly retained. Now that we've established my starting point, let's get on with day one. I entered this challenge thinking that it was going to be very easy. And I almost took it as a joke because I already knew how to ride. I thought that the skating experience I picked up over quarantine was going to give me a head start. But I quickly realized that pretty much everything I knew about rollerblading was wrong. My footing, my posture, balance, technique, everything. Here's my professional assessment on my current stride. I'm stepping with my feet in order to move forwards, one foot after another. There's very little stability. I'm honestly not even moving that fast despite the fact that my feet are just constantly moving and stepping. So then I realized it was gonna be back to basics for me, like way back to basics. According to some tutorials on YouTube, I'm supposed to be pushing out with my feet and that motion is supposed to move me forwards. So that's pretty much all I practiced for day 3. Then I encountered another problem. I had zero strength in my legs. Day 4 was such a slap in the face because I couldn't do anything without strengthening my legs and developing a strong foundation. I wanted to quit on that day. I had envisioned myself learning fun tricks and then refining them as the weeks went on, but I was stuck on day 0. I felt like I was supposed to be better than that, but I wasn't. On this day, I went even further back and did strength training, building up strength in my legs to support me. See how my body twists in an awkward manner when I shift my weight to my left side? It's my damn posture. So strength training continued all the way into day 6 now, while Jason learned this new trick, which I thought I'd be doing at this time, but no. It was he who did it first. But I'm starting to get the hang of the push method and I'm no longer as weak when I'm gliding, if that makes sense. Doing these workouts really helped me to develop a stronger foundation, which is absolutely necessary to even advance into doing new tricks. I'm glad I took the time to do things the right slow way, even though it was kind of frustrating. My push is improving, so of course I immediately went into practicing my backwards stride, doing backwards lemons. I don't know why, but my arms tend to do one of these whenever I go backwards or whenever I'm trying to balance. Now I'm working on transitions, trying to go from forwards, transition, backwards, relatively smoothly, and I'm just trying to overcome my fear of falling. I haven't broken a bone in my body, I've never sprained anything, so there's a lot of fear I'm trying to overcome. I'm continuing to work on backward stride, which I'm now able to do one foot at a time. And then I'm working on the heel toe trick. As you can see, I struggled so hard to get both feet in the air. It didn't seem like I was getting anywhere with this trick. Continuing to work on forwards to backward transition, and then actually moving backwards. Then the heel toe, which took the longest time for me to get, honestly. I don't know why this was so hard for me, but yeah, the struggle was real with this one. This today. I'm really gonna do it. At this point, I've been practicing the heel toe for 3 days straight and I was getting nowhere. Pretty frustrating. With backward stride, I'm able to push out with each feet, but it looks so bad. It looks really awkward. Then I got really brave because I felt like I was able to at least maintain some balance on my heel toe situation. So I decided to try out this spin technique. Then I was able to get one spin down. And then of course I got ambitious and tried to do longer spins. I practiced the spin move until my legs gave out pretty much. So then the next day when I tried to practice it again, my legs were just dead. So we just took an easy day. Didn't really focus on anything in particular, but my heel toe is coming along somewhat. Day 15. This was the day I genuinely felt like I was making significant progress. I felt brave enough to attempt jumps. I don't know where that bravery came from, but it just came over me and I was like, F it, let's do it. And I actually did it. And then this happened. I could actually roll on my heel and toe for longer than a second. Day 15 was a good day. We're now at the halfway point, day 16, and I realized when I'm doing my spin move, I rely too much on the momentum as opposed to using proper technique to get myself to turn, if that makes sense. I also practice putting together jump transitions with backward stride. It looks rough, but we're getting somewhere. Apparently, this is really good for building strength in your legs, especially your thighs and buns. If you are trying to build some strength in your legs and then your glutes, try this. It's so hard. That's what she said. Just continuing with what I was doing yesterday, jump transitions to backward stride. It still looks pretty much the same, but it's only been like 3 days. I've kind of regressed on my spins because I hadn't been practicing it much, so I kind of put that to the side and continued with what I was more comfortable with. I'm working on my balance, especially single leg balance. While doing that, I'm actively trying to engage my cores. See how my hands are on my stomach to keep my cores engaged the entire time? I have such weak cores. Watch me disappear. That fall happened over the smallest crack, but I was only on one foot at the time, so I'm not too mad about it. I was so sore after that though. Still doing single leg balance, still trying to engage the core. With 10 days to go, I finally started working on forwards crossover, but then I quickly got carried away doing more fun things, like the heel toe. Oh! I was feeling good on this day because the progress was very visible. I mean, these are all the things that I could not do when I first started. So this was a good day. So I saw this on TikTok and I wanted to try it for myself. To my surprise, I was actually pretty good at this. Also, this was my last day before getting a gum graft procedure, so I took it lightly and didn't really focus on anything in particular. To be honest, I just moonwalked this entire day. I didn't really do anything else. Between day 21 and 22, there was a 2-week hiatus. Gum graft. And my overconfident ass wanted to take the brakes out after the 2-week break I had. Oh yeah, no brakes! Taking out the brakes made it easier for me to practice backwards crossovers. Mentally preparing to cross your legs over backwards is so hard. If my wheels get caught, then I'm gonna fall no matter what. That was the most difficult part in learning the backwards crisscross. And of course, as luck would have it, I fell down pretty hard on this day coming down a curb. And my finger is actually still healing from it. I fell way more times than what's being shown here. It just happened off camera mostly.
Wear my helmet.
It's too big.
그냥 써.
Always wear your helmet and don't forget them at home if you're going to a different place to skate. Also, this is a good time for me to mention that I was recently made aware of the fact that bike helmets don't provide enough protection for falls that can happen during skating. Apparently, it doesn't have enough back protection and it's made more for falling forwards as you would with a bicycle. So get a skating helmet. Any helmet is better than no helmet, but if you can, get a skating helmet. Anyway, with 7 days left, I focused primarily on transitions because I wanted to go from forwards to backwards to forwards smoothly by the end of this. Also, my backwards crossovers are looking promising at this point. But my arms still look so awkward. It's like this weird chicken dance move that I do. I mean, if that's what's necessary to make my legs cross, then I guess. I wasn't feeling too well on this day, so I had to cut practice short. Mostly did backwards crossovers. I was so determined to get this right, especially because I took my brakes off. I had like no more excuses. I'm doing spread eagle stretches to allow myself to transition better. I'm very stiff in the inner thigh area. I was also determined to transition at a faster speed. And then this happened. So then I got scared. And moved on to practicing backwards crossover for the rest of the day. And then my very poor attempt at skating with one foot at a time. My arms are just everywhere. Back again with the spread eagle stretches. They're really helpful and kind of eye-opening to how stiff I am, just naturally. Maybe I'll do a splits challenge next time. I'm focusing on transitioning to my right because I still suck at it. By the end of this day, I started feeling more comfortable transitioning to my right. And now I'm trying to get fancy with these transitions. We're getting really close to the finish line. I'm trying the heel toe trick, but with the heel up on the side that had the brakes. Because I already knew how to do it on the other side, it was much easier trying to do it with my right heel up. I neglected spins until now, but I'm trying to really get the techniques down without using momentum. It's pretty tough. Then this toe balance happened. Well, Jason did it first and I didn't want to lose to him, so I did it too. Forward crossovers, so challenging. It's so hard. It's starting to look a little bit better. I'm probably gonna have to spend a lot of time on this to really perfect it, especially when turning the corner. I want it to be like speed skaters on ice. You know how they... This is such an advanced technique for me, and I look so awkward doing it. On the other hand, backwards crossover is looking really good. But I'm still struggling with my right foot crossing over. That does not look good at all. Why do I look like that? I'm so hunched over. It definitely has to do with fear of falling. I don't want to fall forwards and like hurt my beautiful face. With only one day left, I didn't want to push myself too hard. I also discovered that I could do the toe spins. Kind of.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
At least I know the technique. So weird how I can't really get the technique down. I rely on momentum with my heel toe spins, but with my toe spin, I understand how to make myself spin. So that happened. Toe spins, crazy. I had no idea I was gonna even attempt this during this 30-day course. This is like the only trick I wasn't fearful of trying. So the fact that I couldn't get it right away, even though in my mind I knew like how to do it, was so frustrating. Now we're at our final day, day 30. Did I accomplish as much as I wanted to? No, because remember, I walked into this thinking that I was already so good at rollerblading, but that turned out to be false. But considering the fact that I had to start all the way from the beginning and still made it to this point, I'm pretty proud of. If there's one thing that remained consistent throughout this challenge, it's my fear of falling. I wish I could overcome it, but that fear is so deeply embedded in my mind that I can't escape it. As much as I want to, I really do, but I can't escape it. I think a lot of that has to do with age too. Like if I were to learn this when I was like, I don't know, let's say 18, I probably wouldn't be as fearful of falling. But now that I'm 30, the knees are hurting, the elbows, the joints, and my bones will not heal as fast. That is a fact. I can't help myself but be hesitant to try anything more risky. But nonetheless, I'm pretty proud of this progress I made. And I think it was a good kickoff to this 30 in 30s series. Now watch me ride off into the sunset beautifully, but slowly.